think this month I want to talk about how to accomplish your huge goals. Anyone want to share? House? Okay, buying a house, okay. That's a great one. That is not easy, and that's a huge, big term, and that's really independence and financial stability. There's so many things that go along with that. So that is a great long-term goal. Anybody else have anything? Better health, thank you, okay. Better health, I mean, health is something that's so important. I'm glad that you said that, Victoria. I actually have that, be fit, okay. These are good things to have as goals because it just makes such a big difference in your family's life, your own life, your happiness, your wellness. There's so many different reasons. So you guys already know how I feel about, how health is such a key part of being happy and making money too. So be fit. This is what, Lupe said, buying a dream house, maybe even just moving, having independence and renting your own place. I think that's a very good big goal that many people have, or a dream car. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. If you have a big goal, like that's something, people are driven by. Maybe relationship-wise, there you go, Laura. I was gonna say that. What kind of relationships could someone maybe have? Surround yourself with positive people, yep. Those are great goals to have, like not have anybody negative around me and just, have everybody positive around me. But what about even bigger relationship goals that some people may have that you already accomplished? But I put get married, but yeah, find a hubby. Okay, that okay, or have or kids or keep being married. That's a huge goal of mine. Or maybe have kids. Okay, or some of you guys have more kids. Could be big goals. Those are not easy things to do, the responsibility. Or maybe get out of debt. Okay, these are some goals that, it's pretty common, but everybody should have some of these goals. Now, what about your big work goals?
Make more money.
Make more money, okay. Well, anything specific?
Increase the closing ratio.
Increase closing ratio to a certain percentage. How about reaching the top tier, 50K? Okay, or being in the top 3, or best month ever, or agent of the year. Okay, or top 3 of the year, or be promoted to a manager position, or making 100K a year, or if you're already doing that, 200K a year. So these are big work goals that we should all have too. So hopefully you guys gave yourself a little time first. Hey, what kind of goals do I have? Big goals do I have? And what kind of work goals do I have? These are things that, it's not, we don't just do at the beginning of the year. It's good to just do it all the time. And we should have big goals because that drives us. And our agency's goal, okay, as crazy as it sounds right now, we want to become profitable. And then $10 million in revenue. I talk about this very often, but I do have big goals too, and that just drives me because, and I'll kind of explain it to you guys later, but it just helps me just stay energized and motivated because there's something big that I'm trying to chase for, and it just helps me stay motivated. So how to accomplish your goals harder?
Be on time.
Not be on time.
Being distracted. Self-sabotaging.
Self-sabotaging, yep. This,
Not being coachable.
what was it?
Is that allowing distractions?
Allowing distractions, yep. Not being coachable. Mindset, yep. This month I want to talk about goals, how it applies to the concept of how time moves. So let's say I was, what's your big goal? Lupe, what was your big goal?
My family.
Family goals, okay, or buying a house, let's just say. Okay, so that's a good example. Let's say my big goal was to learn Spanish. Okay, I've been hearing Spanish every single day for 8 hours a day, more than that for 17 years. It's like, hey, maybe it's a good time for me to start understanding it, finally. I think many people have learned Spanish, in the past, right? A lot of people, it's not impossible. So how would I make that harder for myself?
If you don't prepare yourself for it?
If I don't prepare yourself, what if the time frame I give myself?
I'll get to it eventually.
What if I said I have to learn it in a week?
No, impossible.
Okay, so you make your goals harder when you give yourself a short deadline.
Not patient.
Not patient, yeah. So it would be impossible for me to learn Spanish in a week. So just like your big goals here, okay, if you were to make this much or save this much money, like, okay, I'm gonna do this in a month. You just made it so hard. Let's say it was to be fit, like I'm gonna be fit, but you give yourself a deadline of a week. Okay, that's gonna be very difficult. Find the right relationship. Okay, you're gonna rush into someone you're not maybe ready for. That's gonna be something that you are not put yourself in a good position. Have kids, you just definitely don't want to rush that, right? So these are things when you have a shorter time frame, like move or buy a house. I'm going to buy a house within 2 months. It's like, okay, that you just made your goals really hard to get. So on the flip side, how to make it easier then?
Being patient.
Long-term goals, being patient. So instead of having a shorter deadline, what would you do?
Time. Being realistic.
Just have a longer time horizon. Okay, so if your big goal was to make or save X amount of money, and then you just didn't even give yourself a deadline. Like for me, if I said, okay, well, I'm going to give myself 10 years to learn Spanish, do you think that's doable? You know, it's like, okay, yeah, that sounds almost easy. Like, of course I'll be able to do that if I spend my time. I hope. I mean, 17 years I still haven't learned it, so maybe I won't be able to do it. But so if your goal was to make a certain amount or save a certain amount, but you gave yourself all the time in the whole world, that sounds like, oh yeah, I could do that. Okay, be fit. You gave yourself just 5 years, 10 years. Okay, that sounds totally doable now, right? Find the right relationship. Yeah, it could be pickier. Okay. Maybe when you're healthy, it's a little easier, but so maybe there's a little bit of time factor there. Have kids, okay? Now, if you give yourself more time, then you'll be able to do these goals for sure. Buy a house, move. So you guys see how if you extend your time horizon to a longer vision, then it's like your goals get just so much easier. It's like I could do that. When you make it shorter and when you're in a rush, it seems everything you want to do it becomes impossible. In fact, the bigger your goal, the longer the time horizon has to be. Okay, so that's how I try to stay patient, because $10 million in revenue is extremely difficult, especially when the agency is unprofitable, but I'm just in no rush. I just feel like I could do it if I just never gave up. So another experience I have is when I first started in 2007, I said, hey, I want to have a business that makes over $1 million a year. That seems very difficult because most businesses go out of business in the first year or 2 or 5 years, whatever the statistics is. It's very difficult to survive. And I did it in 2019, so that was 12 years. So now the goal is $10 million. So I want to also go over the benefits of becoming successful slowly, because you could be like, damn, that takes a long time. Like that's 10 years, 12 years to reach a goal, like to buy a house. That's just really discouraging to me. That sounds terrible. Like it doesn't sound fun. I don't have that much patience. So I want to go over some benefits of becoming successful slowly. What do you guys think?
Less stress.
Less stress, yeah. Like if you can give yourself a shorter timeline, you're like, I'm not doing it. Like, what's wrong with me? You're gonna go harder on yourself. So less stress is. Thank you for saying that, Laura, because stress is a big part of having big goals. How to balance that out is super important.
Just crashing out.
There you go, Victor. That's really well said. I have that in the second bullet point. But just like Victoria said, if you earn it, and if you understand how hard it is to get it, then you don't take it for granted, and you've actually built the characteristics to be able to maintain that. And there's a lot of studies where lottery winners, when they make a lot of money, they always lose all that. Not always, but 70%, they say go bankrupt because they haven't had the skill of learning how to maintain that. Maybe there's a skill of learning how to manage or allocate money. There's a skill of learning how to say no to people and who to trust. There's a lot of things that go with earning that where you got to. So one of the things I want to add is, you also build character during that time. And some of these characters could be characteristic could be like patience, discipline, persistency, resiliency, optimism. These are characteristics that you're gonna have to build over time. You just don't come like this way. Another thing that the danger of actually making a lot of money easily or fastly, what would you guys think is? And maybe if it comes too easy, then what could happen to your ego? It gets really high. Okay, so you build character when you go slowly, but when you actually become successful quickly, you don't build an ego. Because you want to build character, but you don't want to build an ego. So you guys read the book with me. Many of you guys read the book with me. Ego is the enemy. That is the enemy. So that is another benefit of becoming successful slowly. So you don't think you have it all figured out. Sometimes that happens, sometimes at a young age if you do really well. I felt for that really in a bad way. So these are benefits. All right, so since we have a lot of time, should we just take it easy? I could say, hey, I'm very unprofitable right now, but I want to get profitable, so I'm just going to be patient, and I'm just going to sleep in today and see what's on Netflix, and just text Laura to see what's going on at the office, and because I'm patient, I'm not going to rush into it. I'm just going to eventually we'll figure it out and we'll make some money again. Is that a good strategy?
Yeah.
But it's better to be patient, though, right?
It's also
Like-
better to take action.
Like wisely.
Wisely. Well, what if you want to be fit, right? You want to be fit, but it's like, well, if I work out today, nothing's going to happen. I have to have a really long-term vision about this. So I'm going to get started tomorrow, and today I'm just going to, order some wings and, and then come to the office and just,
Beers. Okay.
how about come to the office and just snack, It's just like, it's like, I'll go to the gym. I'll start 2025. But based on like being patient and having long-term vision, shouldn't we just take it easy and just be patient?
Take action.
We do have to take action. Okay, so we have to take a lot of action too. So which is it? Like, do we need to take a lot of action? Do we need to be urgent? Do we need to like be in a rush, or do we need to be patient? Like, which is it? Like, it's like a contradiction. Like, what are you telling me to do? Which one is this? So this is a concept I actually made up myself and I'm proud of, because a lot of times I go up here and I share stuff that I've heard from other people. But this one I did come up with myself. So I call it this concept so I could understand it better. And this has helped me in many situations, or this is something I actually live by, is to be patiently in a rush. So every day I have to do something. I'm in a rush. Like, I have to make my agency profitable. Like, I'm figuring things out. For you guys, it could be like when you get an email, like respond to it right away. You're gonna lead, like just work on it right away. But when it comes to like things actually happening, I'm just like, okay, I'm not even waiting for the result to come. I'm just working really hard here, but for the results, I'm extremely patient. Okay, so what's the opposite of that?
Being impatient.
Being be impatiently lazy. And some people are like that. They want the results so fast, but they're not doing anything.
Or even impatiently in a rush.
Impatiently in a rush too is not good too. But the best for me is to be really in the micro, day to day, hour to hour, in a rush, getting things done, like doing a lot. But in the macro, big vision stuff is like, I'm just waiting. It's okay. Nothing's happening. That's okay. I'm just working really hard without expecting the results. So I want to be always in a rush. Like, I get here at 5:30 and I'm still, I get stuff ready and I'm working on stuff. But then as far as the results comes, I know we're not going to get to 10 million, or we're not going to be profitable overnight. It's just, I'm okay with waiting for those results to come. So that's what you want to balance out, because you don't want to be, some people are just really lazy, but then they expect other people to do things or results to come fast, and that is a situation where you're going to get discouraged very easily. Okay, so same thing with fitness or with relationship. You always want to do things that's going to help the other partner or work out all the time, and then expect the big things to happen over time. So yeah, before we end, I just want to go over last month. I asked for your guys' help. I wanted to see if karma is real. I was starting to doubt myself. And last month, this was us. So great job there, great picture there. I shared this with you guys. And last month, you guys showed me a lot. So one of the things that you guys showed me was you guys are coachable. So I really want to appreciate you guys for that. This is from Laura's feedback, but I could just tell that we're getting better every day. We're just part one of 6 parts of the scripts. And just from part 1, we're making a big difference. And from what Laura tells me, you guys are coachable. And that just really makes me excited, because I know we're going to get better now. That just from that feedback that you guys are using the training that's coming. Another thing that you guys have shown me is that you guys are adaptable. And this goes back to the meeting that we had, the budget announcement meeting. And this is something I share with TCO, with Laura's experience. I just want to share with you guys too. But back in the old office in Tustin, 10 years ago, we didn't have chargebacks back then. This is like, I didn't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing, but it's just like, hey, just write policies, and the very next second they cancel, it's like you just get paid on it. There was a motorcycle policy that Erica wrote actually for $3,000, and then the next day they canceled, and I was like, wait, I'm stuck with paying this commission. This like kind of doesn't make sense. And then I worked at AAA. They did chargeback, and all the other people they did the chargeback. It's like industry common. So I was like, hey, we're gonna introduce chargebacks. And she was, writing policy at the time, not nearly what she was writing, but she got scared. She was like, wow, like this sucks. Like, I don't like this. And we talked about it, and we moved on, and we had a review, and I told her, hey, like, next time when we have changes, let's have a good attitude about these changes, because they're going to continue to come. I remember saying that. So I was almost like, buckle up, because this is just the beginning of changes to come. And I just can't put into words how much she's grown when it comes to changes. And for her, what happened, some of the changes we made for her own situation, and for her to come up here and tell her about the history of our agency, that was really a very touching moment for me. And it just made me so proud of her, because that's the growth that she has shown as far as being able to accept changes and have a positive attitude and have the trust and the confidence that with hard work and persistency, we're going to turn things around. And her job descriptions has changed so much, within the last year. And that is something that really helps me, because I really want to reciprocate that. If someone is very committed and working hard for me and loyal, then I want to do everything I can to help that person back. And it really pushes me to my boundaries of motivation and creativity. Like, I'm thinking, like, how can I help this person, because this person is really down to win with me. So adaptability is going to continue to be a huge part of our agency, and I just want to thank Laura for being a leader that she is, and really displaying that with great examples. So let's go for Laura for that. And also commitment. Okay, commitment is something that you guys have showed, and I really appreciate you guys for that. It's not easy being in the insurance business, and you guys have different options when it comes to picking your employer. You guys have picked me, and I take great responsibility in that, and that is something that is going to go right back to you guys. Okay, so I really don't feel this is something that it's going to continue to go this trend. Only our work ethic will determine which way we'll go. But you guys have showed great commitment. I just hear you guys out there trying your best every day. I just hear you guys talking about the sales script, or talking about the sales situation. And that energy, once again, it just is something that I need in these times like this, where I see my bank account going down. I just come into work and I say, hey, everyone is trying really hard for each other. And that gives me so much excitement. And sometimes it's not just about the money. It's like, hey, I'm making a difference, and you guys are trying your best. And you guys, I just feel that commitment. I see you guys smiling. I see you guys talking to each other and enjoying being here. And that is something that goes a long ways for me. So I really appreciate you guys for having a great month and showing these 3 things for me last month. So I just want to end it with, we're going to make a lot of money. All right, I don't know when. I got a long time horizon, but we're gonna do it. How are we gonna do it? Fishing in a rush. We're gonna be in a rush. Okay, we're gonna get out there. We're gonna pick up the calls when they ring, and then when there's a chat, we're gonna be available, and we get a lead, or when Marian or Yuchan sends you incomplete, we're just gonna work on things, and we're just gonna take massive action. We're just gonna do a lot, and at the same time. And just to share you guys what I'm doing, because sometimes I feel like maybe it's good for me to share, because I'm in my office a lot, and many days it's being more closed. And that just kind of speaks to volume how much leadership we have here. But I'm working on a lot of stuff. I'm working on this Zywave, the ITC integration, where people fill out a quote online, it goes straight to ITC, so you guys don't have to input it, where they fill out an online quote form. Sales training scripts. Okay, so I'm coming up with the scripts and writing out the scripts with the help of Laura and SBAD. But we're working on that. We're working on 5 different versions of a new ad that we're working on. That's going to be released in 2025. Thanks to Mo, we're going to be able to have 5 different separate parts of the ad, similar but different parts, different feelings, different intros. So I'm working on that. I have 2 talks, one in Arizona in October, another one in Connecticut in November that I'm going to go to, so I'm preparing for that speech. So we're going to be in a rush. I'm in a rush too. I'm working every day, working on stuff for you guys, for us, and at the same time, let's going to be patient for big things to come. We're just going to take massive action, and we're going to wait. And we don't big things to happen right away, but we just keep putting in the work. And big things are coming for us. I just know they are. So I just want to thank you guys for giving me more confidence than last month. I was kind of in a dark place maybe last month. I wasn't really sure what to do, but this month you guys have shown that we could bounce back, and we're on the right track now, thanks to you guys. So I'm ready for more, and I'm gonna be right there with you guys, patiently in a rush with you guys. So thank you guys.